Welcome to REMelations. We're your hosts.
I'm Mindy.
And I'm Brooke. REMelations is a dream interpretation podcast where we read listeners' dreams from nightmares to the just plain bizarre. Join us as we give you our comedic interpretation of your fucked up REM cycle. This week I'm sharing a dream from Liz about cops, gunshots, and dark alleys.
Not a very good place to hang out. We also have catnaps, of course. This week's catnaps have dogs doing seances, superpowers allowing you to move tectonic plates, cruise ships that have run aground, and of course, condom beers.
Yuck, yuck.
All right, Bestie, put in those headphones, try not to laugh at work, and let's get started.
Wow!
Hi.
I'm old.
How you hanging in there after your birthday celebration weekend? Yo, do you need a Bloody Mary?
I need a Bloody Mindy. Mindy.
If I was there, I would whip one up, make sure you have your little Gatorade.
I'm not crying. I'm laughing. These are, I swear, no, like they are laughter tears. But I don't
You're alive.
good.
That's good. It's not easy to do it at 44 versus 24.
And I'm not even quite to 44.
Yeah, I know. You're not quite there yet, but you're almost. We'll call it close enough.
It is very close enough. I'm so tired.
Well, we could get rolling, and then that way you can get right back to your nap.
You know I rolled out of a nap for
I know
this,
you. And
I'm going to roll back into a nap. And, I mean, I don't know where my pants went.
Oh, you're not wearing pants today. Okay. If you want to join Sleepover Squad, Brooke's pantless today.
Okay, let's be honest. You can't see that.
I know. You can only see from your chest up, but
I always have pajama bottoms on, and I don't know where
it's hot. Yeah. Oh well. I'm surprised you know where you are after last night, but I digress.
I'm home. I'm ready.
You're safe. And we're ready to read some dreams.
Okay. I have a dream today from Liz from Oklahoma City.
OC.
So it's titled Shot to Death and Lived to Tell the Story. Actual death? ?
Oh. Okay.
Ooh.
Feeling a little spooky here.
Okay. BTW this time of year. Brett's like the best auntie in the world. He goes to the Dollar Tree and gets me anything that says spooky on it.
Oh,
I'm
of course.
You're a good auntie. You're getting spooky. Oh, sorry, I was just thinking about.
We'll have our October episodes coming up, and I think we go really like creepy paranormal on those
hardcore
topics.
Into that.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, so I'm currently sitting in my apartment bed, typing this at 5, almost 6 a.m. I can't go back to sleep because of how scary this dream was. Anyway, here is how it went.
Okay, I'm ready.
I was walking in a dimly lit alley with my friend. She was singing loudly with a cigarette in her hand. This could have been me.
That's some details.
Pre-2008. This could have been me.
Yeah, it sounds pretty similar to Brooke I used to know. Just don't walk in dark alley. I don't like the fact it's a dark alley. That's never a good location for a dream.
I don't like it either. And the wisp of smoke curling up from her cigarette as I was walking right beside her listening to her. But we both had our hoods up. Okay.
Interesting. Very detailed.
This is very detailed. Mm-hmm. The next thing I know, I hear cop sirens in the background. And somehow footsteps approaching. They're getting closer, yet I never seem to see one or both or even hear them talking to us. And then the moment that led to my death. A cop's gun was aimed at me and shoved in my mouth.
Oh, what? Hello? Wait, stop.
We jumped a few notches.
I think there's these things called you have to say what I'm being arrested for. There's Miranda rights we have to go through.
There are these things, but not
There's a checklist here, copper.
Nope, just gun in the mouth.
No.
Someone feeling like they're being approached and then gun in the mouth.
Okay.
That's
Terrifying.
the Miranda rights in this dream.
Yes, I guess so.
I begged and pleaded the cop not to shoot me to death with my eyes. I couldn't talk, so my eyes were widened in fear and desperate mercy for my life. My friend was also crying for them not to kill me. Bam! 3 gunshots. But it was the first one that I felt took my life. And suddenly, just like that, I collapsed face first on the floor. A gigantic pool of blood oozing out, spreading every direction.
Oh.
And the weirdest part of it all was that I felt my death. My body's energy was so intense, but it was suddenly gone. And my mouth started to taste bitter, as well as my vision, the last sense to go. It started bleeding black, like a dark ink in water.
Oh. Okay.
She's
That's
very
bad, but man, that makes it worse.
It does, but it's very, I like
well
the way
written,
she writes. I am convinced I actually died for a split second. So I think that was the actual death question mark in the title of the dream. I'm convinced I actually died for just a split second. Hear me out. I've been having a hard time recently. I thought of dying and told my BF I wanted to die today or soon.
Oh, no, girly.
And I practically did in my dream. I wonder if this was a way to have a taste of death before my actual one. Was it a dream come true? Not anymore. I don't want to die. Not anytime soon, at least.
Oh, God. Liz, don't. No.
Liz.
You're on this earth for a reason, and we want you here.
We do want you here, and you're still here, and I feel like you are choosing the right direction to go, like positivity, and follow that light. Like,
wow, Brooke, you picked a heavy one today.
It's been a while.
Here I came down to my little pod room in my basement, thinking we're going to have some cocktails and have dreams about George Clooney, but no, you ruined it once again for me.
I do want to tell you, I did have a dream about George Clooney last night.
Get out of town.
Can I? Was it good? I'll just briefly tell you.
Was it really good? Oh.
It was very brief because you were in it as well, and I was.
Was he at our podcast awards?
This was kind of meta because I was telling you how I had just had a dream about George Clooney in my dream last night. Oh. And I had purchased from Redbubble a sticker that is Doug Ross that I want to put on my a Yeti, my water bottle.
Yes.
And I remember going, I want to show Mindy my sticker, and then that was the extent of the dream.
Strange. Yeah, maybe that'll come true.
Do you expect anything differently from me than strange?
No.
Okay, Mindy, before we jump into the analysis of this bad boy, I just want to remind all of our besties out there all the different ways to support the show. You can go to REMelations.com/support. This is where you can submit your dreams. You can buy awesome merch. You can also join our sleepover squad, which is
yes,
chef's kiss, because we've got extra footage. We've got all of our live videos. We have all the fun stuff in our sleepover squad. So again, REMelations.com/support.
Well, now that you got that out of the way, I am curious of where you're going with this. I mean, it seems like a pretty straightforward dream. I mean, she does go into some struggles she's been having, but I wonder what it means. I'm sure you're going to get into it. Why is it these unseen bad cops?
Oh my goodness, Mindy, I don't even know. I'm looking, and yes, it's 2 pages of notes as opposed to the 1 page of a dream. You know how it works. Okay. So, everything starts in a dark alley.
This is not a good place to start the dream.
No. It definitely isn't. But at least she's with a friend, so it does hold some comfort.
Yeah, keep. You got this. You're almost there.
This holds some comfortability for her.
I don't think you got it.
Comfortability? Is that not right?
Comfortability? Is it
comfortability? Comfortability.
It was comforting.
It was. It is comforting to at least have a friend with you in the alley.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
It doesn't seem like the greatest starting off point for any kind of dream. But, the alley's dark, it's ominous, and you're kind of feeling lost or trapped within that. And it could reflect feelings of confinement or a sense of stuck in a specific situation in your waking life.
Right. I mean, really, if you think of an alley, there's only one way or maybe two ways out. It's
maybe
it's
if
confining.
you're lucky.
Yeah.
Like if
could be
a garbage can doesn't get kicked over behind you.
Right. No, it's like you are on like a very specific path and there's not a lot of options, I feel.
Right. No, you're absolutely right. And this could signify your anxieties and fears and just apprehensions about the unknown. And it might reflect a difficult decision that you're grappling with, a complex problem you're trying to solve, or just the sense of unease that comes with facing the unexpected.
Yep.
Now, the singing loudly, that part I
Brooke,
can get into.
Okay. You and I are walking down a dark alley. What are you belting out?
Oh,
I mean, these days, what's like your go-to? We're walking home from the bar. What's your go-to song you're singing?
I'm probably singing like "Don't Look Back in Anger" by Oasis, or maybe a good old rock anthem by Bon Jovi.
Of course, it's always on the playlist.
You got to keep it light and fun.
Living on a Prayer?
Living on a Prayer. Yeah,
Interesting that. Yeah.
My drunk alley singing songs are different than my karaoke songs.
Totally. They should be, as they should.
So what's your go-to?
Oh my God. I these days I can not get out of my head Chappell Roan because everything she does just gets stuck in my goddamn head. And
I don't know if you're happy about this.
H-O-T-T-O-G-O. We're going to take this alley to go. I don't know. Like that song. And then like the Pink Pony Club. Okay. Can I hashtag? Do you mind?
Please.
If I just, we're going to get it done early.
Just do it.
Because I feel like she has to be an amazing dreamer.
Okay.
The creativity that's involved. Okay.
Chappell Roan?
Yes.
Okay. I've never even heard of it.
You never heard of her? Oh,
Mindy,
Brooke.
You know me.
You would love her. Actually, she's very
Roan.
like
R-O-N-E? How do you spell her last name?
R-O-A-N? Roan?
Roan.
Yeah.
Okay. Chappell
So
Roan.
it's not her.
Roan.
It's not her birth name. She didn't like her birth name, so she took her grandpa's name and his favorite artist's name, and then made her own name.
I love that.
But she's like a very like pro like queer community. Like her songs are queer. It's like the hot to go songs, like the new YMCA of this generation.
Mindy, you know I am not a queer supporter. Just kidding.
Brooke, you are
I've been
queer.
a queer supporter since I came out of the birth canal. I came out going, ta-da! I'm gonna love everyone.
Everyone. Yes. So, but no, you should definitely check her out because it's like it's a whole vibe. Anyhow.
Okay.
Chappell Roan.
Chappell Roan. Okay, ready?
Yes, let's do it.
Hashtag,
What does Chappell Roan dream? Oh, my God.
Oh, it's going to be amazing.
I love it. It is going to be amazing because I think someone who is so all-inclusive in her life would just have just the most vibrant, colorful, diverse, amazing dreams.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a real hoot. I say it's going to be because I know she's going to respond to us.
If anyone, it would be her because I feel like she would think we were both brat. And
yeah,
and
that's a good thing.
And that's a good thing.
Yes.
To all of the to all the people of our generation, being a brat is a good thing. Brooke's living her best brat life right now.
It's tricky. It's tricky to keep up with the ling-diddy, as my brother says, the ling-diddy.
The ling-diddy. Okay.
But
anyways, getting back to
right,
Liz.
Chappell, let's hear it from you, though, please.
Please.
Singing in a dream can represent a need or desire to just express yourself, some sort of creativity. The dream may reflect a wish to have a stronger voice or share one's talents or emotions with others. Or maybe you're jealous or envious of your friend's ability to be more open.
Okay.
Which I'm kind of sensing in this dream, but like at the same time, it's like, just be able to just sing, even if you sound like shit. Like they say, dance like no one's looking or sing like no one's listening. I think we all have to have these moments in our life where we do these things because it just feels good.
It feels good. I think it's something you kind of grow into. Eventually stop giving fucks about what people think, right? You know?
This takes age, ladies and gentlemen. This takes age. I get it. Only because she was so specific about like these descriptions. So the singing of the friend, and then the wasp of the cigarette smoke as she smoked and sang. So as the saying goes, you know, like with the cigarette, where there's smoke, there's fire. And this dream is kind of a forewarning of risk ahead.
I didn't even put those two things together, and that I love that you did that. Okay, I'm all in. I like this symbol. How you're tying the symbol. That's awesome.
Good. I'm glad because our brain. I just had a memory.
Because you looked awfully terrified there for a moment.
No, it wasn't terrifying, but I didn't want to say it because it's kind of it's not repressed, but. I have this strange, and you can keep this or not. I have this strange comfort when we shared our locker senior year, like, because your parents smoke cigarettes. Yes. I would be able to smell that. Oh. And for some reason, that has always been like a comforting.
That is so weird.
Because living in I know it pissed you off.
Oh, it did.
I mean, I know you were like, I hate it. I don't want it. Like, I know it pissed you off, but it was like something familiar every day. Like, those are Mindy's parents, you know, like.
It's like the smell, your home smell. Yeah. And it's
so it's a weird one to choose, but at the same time, it does make sense because.
Yeah.
I smelled you every day, babe.
I'll thank my parents for that question mark.
No, I think mostly like winter. Like if you had a winter coat, you know,
So it was sitting in the house or so interesting. Okay,
it was almost comforting to me, and I never said anything because I know how angry it made you.
I hated the fact
I know you did. So.
I still hate the fact my mom smokes. But, yeah.
Okay. So, smoking cigarettes is also a method of concealment, like a smoke screen. And what is the circumstance in your life, Liz, that is not clear? If you dream that you're smoking, it means you're anxious, which I think smoking is one of those addictions where you do tend to, like, light up when you're...
Yes.
Well, as a former smoker, it's like, I woke up, I need a cigarette. Yeah. I'm going to the bathroom, I need a cigarette. Something happy just happened, I need a cigarette.
Yes.
Something social just happened, I need a cigarette. Sure. Like, it's all over the
same can be said for drinking, though, in most cases these days. It's like, it's the same thing, except for it's not as frowned upon as smoking is anymore.
Right. But that's only because, like... There has been such a push against smoking, which I think there should be. Yeah. I'm sorry. As a former smoker, I'll say it's the worst. It's just the worst. You don't want to be out in 0 degrees smoking. You don't want to worry about
just get your gummies. Just get your gummies and you're fine. Much better these days to deal with anxiety.
1, 2, 3, 4, pop them on in. Let's see what happens. Okay, so the hood's up. Remember how I said that they were walking and their hoods were up? So dreaming about like these hoodies can have a variety of symbolic meanings in a dream. So generally speaking, hoodies represent protection, which would make sense. You know, it's covering your head, most of your face.
Yeah.
It could be that you're feeling the need for extra protection in your waking life, whether it's from a certain situation or a certain person.
Mm-hmm. It's a way of concealment as well. People who are going to rob ATMs or banks or convenience stores are typically in hoodies.
They are.
So it's a way of concealing maybe who you are, or why are you're walking down a dark alley, you're concealing what did you do, Liz? Why are you going to be shot here in about 10 seconds?
Mindy,
did you rob a bank?
Mom. You just turned into Mom. You put your hand on your hip.
I did.
You're like, what did you do, Liz?
What did you do? Let's come clean, Liz. Come on, you can talk to Mom.
Tell Mama.
Mom and Nancy Brooke.
Tell Mama what's going on.
We can work anything. We can work anything out.
Oh, but then there's the cop sirens, right?
Mm-hmm. The warning, total warning sign.
It is a warning sign. And then there's another communication issue, though, like because she feels like she has to speak with her eyes because the gun is in her mouth. Yeah. Shoved in her mouth. Oh. And she's just begging with her eyes. Like we've all had moments, not necessarily. That sounds terrible. Not necessarily where guns have been shoved in our mouths, but we've
keep
all
going, bro. Yeah, keep going.
We've all had moments where we feel like we have to express ourselves with our face. We've all had these. It could be a work meeting. It could be just
you're giving eyes across the room.
Yes, something. Yes. Like we try. Like
this is me and Mark when we work a wedding and we're on opposite sides of the ceremony. Or the reception, and there's like a really bad like best man speech, and we're just giving each other the look like he needs to shut up now.
And you're like, he needs to shut up. Okay. So we've been socialized to kind of suppress our feelings, and it leads us to feeling unseen and unheard and even disconnected when we're surrounded by people and opportunities to connect. Mm-hmm. Everyone has a part of themselves that longs to kind of truly be heard and seen, but often we are the ones keeping that possibility at bay, kind of blocked by our egos. And that's what's tricky. That's what's tricky about dreams is that, as we always say, it does depend on the dreamer to really get into the nitty-gritty. But yes, there are definite elements of this dream that many people have experienced.
Yeah, and I'm with you on the idea of communication. I think she's trying to desperately plea or tell someone something, and she's not finding quite the right way to do it because in the end, it's tragic.
Yes.
She's not getting her point across. She needs to be more vocal, if you will.
If you will. That is correct. And then we have bam, bam, bam. Did I scare you?
No.
Oh.
Pretty good.
Bam, bam, bam. Did I scare you now?
Oh, no. Yeah, I think I peed a little.
We've got the 3 gunshots, which is very specific and has lots of meaning. So vivid or recurring dreams about being shot could be a way for your brain to process past trauma or unresolved experiences, which I think is what it is in this case. Mm-hmm. There's also fear and anxiety. And dreams about being shot could be related to underlying fears and anxieties in your waking life, obviously. This could include concerns about your safety or well-being or the fear of being hurt, which is very realistic in this dream. You know, you're trying to bring attention to the issue at hand, but you're also trying to protect yourself, which happens a lot in dreams.
And in that moment, she's also probably wondering why? Like, why is this happening to me?
Oh,
I didn't do anything wrong. Like, why is this? Why? And then you have like literally 3 seconds, 3 gunshots for that brain to formulate that question.
That's it.
Like, what did I do to deserve this?
Right.
Almost.
And she'll never have answers. And
we don't really in life, though. Like, sometimes life gives you knocks and punches, and you don't know why.
Take them and grow, right? Take it and grow. Being shot in a dream may be centered around you feeling vulnerable or exposed or possibly both. And I I can totally see that with Liz in this dream. And that number 3, those 3 bullets, Mindy, I know you understand. It could mean a million different things, but the number 3 symbolizes growth and expansion and manifestation in the spiritual and physical realm.
3 isn't it big, a spiritual number?
It's a big number. So the fact that it was mentioned several times that it was 3 gunshots, when the number 3 appears, it's indicative that your positive thoughts and just optimistic attitude have attracted abundant blessings. So, Liz, be open to receiving them. Whatever they may be, it could seem weird in the situation, but
look for the joy in things. Your friend's there singing along down the alley. She doesn't give. She was fine. I don't know how she came out unscathed, but look for that brightness in the dark alley. Sometimes I feel.
Thank you.
It can be overwhelming and ominous, but there's someone there who's shining a light, and you sometimes have to seek that.
See, I agree 100%. Like, sometimes you just need to follow the lead of someone that is maybe more clear-headed at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's nothing to be ashamed about. I think you should follow people that are able to process and experience life in a way where it's less stressful and more entertaining, I guess. Like maybe,
Sometimes you can't take everything so seriously.
Right.
You have to lighten up the mood, lighten up the darkness.
Okay, so blood oozing and her feeling death coming. So blood in dreams might indicate that you have emotional wounds that haven't fully healed. And I think that's 100% the case in this dream. So if you dream of bleeding, it signifies a loss of energy or feeling drained.
Mm-hmm. Emotionally, physically, mentally, any of those.
Emotionally. The fatigue you're feeling just could be representative of that exactly. You're just tired in life, or it could be a signal for you that maybe you need to be more proactive in your life with maybe health and energy type needs. But we end the dream with, I think, the biggest success of all is that she no longer wants to die. She says, I don't want to die, not anytime soon at least. If this dream does anything, it brought Liz to her realization that she doesn't want to die, that maybe there's stuff out there for her to explore. And yes, I totally understand her confusion, and that the dream world is a place where maybe you can explore different alternatives, but she has come out on the other side with that amazing message that she is ready to keep on living. Like, she maybe just needed to see a glimpse or, like a little taste and
realize that's not what she wants for herself.
It's not what she wants for herself. So,
Bestie, if you are battling with this, we do want to mention the National Suicide Hotline.
Please.
You can text or call 988 for the Suicide Prevention Hotline and Crisis Hotline. So, we're here. You have people here. There's resources. If you just need to talk, it's out there.
I'll give you Mindy's cell phone. It is...
Oh, my God, yeah. I mean, seriously, it would be bad to say no. I'd be like, no.
Mindy would answer every call. I love it.
I would, and I would probably cry every night when I went to bed. Thank you, Liz, for being so open and honest with your dream. And we appreciate you sharing that, because that's not easy to do, is admit that you're feeling like that. That is very hard to do.
Yeah, it's a very
brave thing to do.
Very vulnerable feeling. And yes, Liz, thank you for sharing that with us. And we're here. Just reach out if you need anything.
All right, Bestie. That's going to bring us to our question of the week. I'm going to try to keep this light now. Let's just take a little gear change. I'm not going to get too crazy here. So let's do something that's easy.
I always feel false security when you say, let's do something nice and easy, because then I'm like, damn it, that's a hard one.
Easy.
Oh no,
okay.
Mindy.
Okay, here's one. I mean, it's light. It's not the best of choices, as they're never best of choices.
No. These are all difficult. Okay.
Would you rather lick your hands every time you touch a doorknob or offer your sleeve as a tissue every time someone sneezes?
Yuck and yuck.
Yeah, neither good. That's great.
Gosh, I wonder what we're going to come up with on this one, Mindy. I'm curious what your answer is, because I want to see what your workaround is.
You want me to? I'll go first if you want me to, because I immediately go offer my sleeve because it says offer.
Okay. Oh, okay. Here we go.
So I don't think most people would take me up on that offer. And so I'm going offer my sleeve because you know what? I can throw that shirt away. I can't throw away listeria and E. coli in my body. I'm just going to let someone sneeze. And if they take me up on my offer, let them sneeze. I'm going to always wear 2 shirts. I'm going to have a tank top underneath my long sleeve. And then next trash can, it's gone.
Damn it. What was the first choice besides the sneezing?
It was lick your hands every time you touch a doorknob.
I mean,
you're talking like bathroom stall.
That would
doors.
Increase your immunity for sure, your tolerance.
Yeah. Scientifically, perhaps.
Maybe because I work with children, I don't want to offer them my sleeve.
They're snotty as it is every damn day, I'm sure.
It's
just dripping.
Already snotty.
Are you really going opposite with me on this? Again.
I might have to, Mindy. I'm sorry.
But you can die of dysentery by licking doorknobs. I don't know. I don't think dysentery is still a thing, but it's probably something like that.
No, I think it is. I mean, do people still play Oregon Trail?
I would love
Your
to play that
family
again.
died of dysentery.
Brooke's going to die of dysentery. Can you imagine, the doors, the subway, the door you touch, and then you have to lick your hand after touching the subway door? The red line.
Since it happens anyway, I'm gonna do the shirt. I'm gonna give
sneeze
this tissue, the
sleeve tissue.
God. I'm gonna do it. Since it happens anyway, I'm gonna offer my shirt as a Kleenex.
Brooke, you never had a problem with taking off your shirt, so you can just throw in the trash.
That's why I wear generic clothes, because then I don't feel badly when I have to take my clothes off.
That's why we're not name brand girlies. Love it. Bestie, if you want to join in on the conversation, find us on Facebook. You can search for REMelations Besties and tell us what you think. You doing offering a sleeve for a sneeze or licking your hands in a bathroom?
Sleeve for a sneeze. Now it's time for Catnaps. Yay! This is the segment of the show where we read listeners' dreams, dream stories, dream thoughts, dream ideas. Maybe it's not even a fully realized dream, but that's okay. That's okay. We kind of just want to get all of you on the show, get your dreams on the show so that we can talk about them. We might not go too in depth, but we're going to whip through them so that you get your name out there.
Well, I'm going to kick off today with Logan from Mobile,
Alabama?
That's right. All the way down in Alabama?
Alabama?
Here we go. You'll like this one. I had a dream that I walked into a room and saw my dog sitting like a human.
Yep. I already like it. Did he have a suit on? Was he eating soup?
Oh, I'll tell you what he was doing. He was holding a Bible open with a cross in one hand while burning sage.
That dog is busy.
He is a busy beagle.
Busy dog.
I picture beagle. I quickly went to my dad, and he told me, shh. Then we got up and went to the hallway, and he said some weird things in tongues or some other language to the Star of David, which wasn't even there, but it was weird because we're Christian and Catholic. The dog's like, I don't identify as such. I am a Wiccan. Thank you.
This busy beagle is like, I am a Jewish beagle, and I don't know what you're talking about.
Huzzah. Here we go. After that, my dog started walking around, opening doors like a normal dog. Every time she would open a door, some weird figure or something would happen shortly after. Is this a nightmare or some sort of sign? Please help. I can't stop thinking about it.
I wish we could help, but I don't know.
I think your doggie's totally in tune with her spiritual side. She's gonna cleanse the room, cleansing of with the sage.
Just take your doggy friend to the doggy store where she can buy some doggy sage, and
some doggy robes,
and just go with the flow and get that sage going.
I mean, if someone wants to, I don't care if it's a canine or a human that wants to come over and sage my space, I'm okay with it.
I think it's a positive thing no matter what.
Absolutely.
To just do a cleansing, a smudging ceremony.
Cleanse. Yes.
Yes.
All right, Brookie.
Okay.
You're up.
This is Beth, and she's from South Bend, and she says, a dream I had and messaged my boss about it. So this is the dream that she sent her boss.
Okay.
You gathered people with superpowers. You revamped buildings that were abandoned, and you had people gather together and strengthen their abilities. I had the power of seismic manipulation.
Ooh. Does that happen? Did we get some seismic manipulation in bed?
I kind of like that. I have seismic manipulation. I can control the tectonic plates and create tsunamis.
Oh, that's very powerful.
That's powerful. You wanted me to wear a super suit, and I didn't want to because I said it looked dumb. The whole idea of a suit.
I'm not wearing the uniform, boss.
Dumb, and I just wanted to look incognito. I get it. You're like, this is gonna point me out to everyone in the world what I can do, right?
Thank you.
Then you had me spar with a mutant that looked like Godzilla, but had a small tail and stood around 10 feet tall. We sparred.
Less intimidating, for sure. That's a tiny Godzilla.
It's a baby Godzilla?
It's a dwarfzilla.
Still twice as tall as you, just think.
Still, yeah. I mean, relatively, it's not as scary.
Yes. We sparred at this place that sold swimming pools.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Some of the pools and jacuzzis were made of cast iron, like tubs. Okay. And when we sparred, I used my ability, and the tubs shattered. I ended up leaving quickly because I didn't want the police to get me.
Wow.
I don't know if I would send that to my boss.
Yeah, what's your work relationship? I guess
it's good, but still, I still don't know if I would be like.
It seems
I just so woke up. Listen to this.
Right. I mean, it seems so personal. I mean, dreams are so personal, and besties, you share them with us, but you kind of do it anonymously. We don't know your last name. We don't know where you work or your social circles, but I don't know if I could share one of my dreams with my boss. I mean, coworkers I have, but not bosses.
Yeah, I don't. That one's a tricky one. Yeah, I don't think I would go there instinctually, at least not at this point.
All right. Moving on, I have Dylan from Fort Worth, Texas.
Okay.
It started as a dream and I felt very happy. I was on the upper deck of a cruise ship, alone, watching us cruise by very close to the shore. Like, unnaturally close. Which I noted, but wasn't too concerned about.
Okay.
There were yellow beach chairs on the shore. The water was up to the edge of the upper deck I was on, sloshing around and choppy, but bright and blue and beautiful. I wasn't concerned.
Pretty deep.
I know, like
the upper level of
like I'm on the Lido deck and there's waves touching my face. What happened? What's going on below deck?
Too close.
I was just enjoying the view until, boom, the ship hit shore almost like it was beached, but the bottom half crumpled and started sinking into the ocean.
Nope.
It doesn't make logical sense how close to the shore we were, but whatever. My fiance was in our cabin, which was in the part that got smushed. So, he said smushed.
Smushed.
So immediately, all the happy vibes were gone, and I am terrified. I jump in the water and swim to where the people are servicing from the crash, and people start just filing out from the depths. I'm waiting to see my fiance. So scared. She finally surfaces, and I'm relieved. We were on the shore in some hallway somewhere, and I notice it's brown and tan color with benches. My sister is there. She was in a cabin further up on the ship that wasn't affected. All of our stuff, including our journals and irreplaceable things, were lost. My sister's things, however, were unaffected.
Why?
She was not. She was not empathetic at all of any kind. Rude. We almost died, and you're like, your cabin's fine, but we lost everything we brought, and, siblings gotta be like that.
Siblings gotta be like, I have no problems, and you're like, thanks for letting me know.
Sure, good for you.
Cool to be you.
My dad called to make sure we were okay, and I woke up in the middle of the phone call.
Oh.
And then Dylan added a little extra note. My fiance and I are going on a cruise this month. It's her first cruise, but I have been on several. Please tell me our ship isn't going to sink. And what does this mean?
It's not going to sink, baby.
No.
It's not. No.
They're buoyant. And for the most part, captains try to stay away from shores.
Yes, the captain will take good care of you and the boat.
I think it's telling you not to bring your sister along is what the lesson here is. She's a downer.
She's a Debbie Downer. Like, on a cruise, Mindy, I know you aren't a huge cruise fan.
Never gone on one, no.
But you could eat what you want, drink what you want, do what you want. Like, it's all there.
I am not a cruise person. It just baffles my mind how something like 100 times the size of the Titanic can float. I mean, I know it's physics and there's science and things behind it, but if you can imagine the weight of that with all those people and all their belongings and all the buffets and the entertainment, like, it's too much to float. It should sink. I don't know. I have some fear, some unwritten phobia. I got to go back to last episode and figure out what that phobia is.
Yeah, we're going to have to go right on back, aren't we? Okay, all right. So, Mindy, this one's not too far from you. This is Lance from Elk Grove Village.
Yeah, know exactly where that is.
Dying in dreams constantly is his title.
Again.
I know that sucks. It's pretty much as the title suggests. I've been unalived by other people constantly in my dreams, and I don't even know these people. It's been really grating and annoying because it's messing with my sleep. It's not even once per dream. It can be up to 4 times
That's
in
exhausting.
one dream. This is so making me so antsy.
Yeah.
I'm 0 for 5 this week. I need help.
God, it's like when you get to the end of Mario Brothers and it's like bling, 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 and your lives come back up if you're...
I know. Oh, Lance.
That's a toughie.
That is a toughie. I don't know why you're having these struggles. We need a little bit more information in order to dig into that a little deeper, but thank you for sharing. This is an interesting one.
All right. Well, I got RJ here.
Okay.
He says he's a male in his late 20s. It's a short one.
Okay.
I dreamt I was drinking beer.
Okay.
That's not all, sorry. It turned out that it had a used condom in it. I felt something rubbery when I took a sip, and much to my horror, I made the revolting discovery of a condom in my drink.
I don't like...
No. Is it used? You know you gotta ask that question.
I have so many questions, but I also don't want to know the answers to any of them.
That was like I'm out. I am done for the night. I'm sorry. I'm going home. Actually, pour me a shot of tequila right in my mouth so I can wash it all away.
I need to gargle and get all the dirtiness out.
Oh, sorry, RJ. Sorry about that.
Oh, sorry about your condom beer, dude.
Oh, condom beers. On special today. Buy one, get one.
It is. It is on special at Jewel-Osco today. Aisle 15. Buy one condom beer, get one free.
Ugh. Not a fan.
Okay. So this is actually a dream question.
Okay.
And it's Jake, and he's from Harrisburg. And he asks, does anyone else feel that some people have the ability to show up in your dream on purpose?
Oh, I like that we have a question. That is fun and different.
It is fun, and I feel like, yes, I do think there are certain people that can dream hop, so to speak, or be called in for protection, or even just as a helper.
Yeah.
There are certain people out there that I feel like can dream hop. I totally agree with this.
I agree with that. And I would like to learn that skill. I'm working on it. I'm going to try to hone that, and I'll come visit you.
You'll come in my dream? That sounds terrible.
Well, we did have condom beers, so it's right online. Right online.
This tracks.
Okay, well, I'm going to have to change the subject completely and go with Chris here from Oakdale, Illinois.
Okay.
So I had a very vivid dream a few weeks ago, and I can't shake the feeling that it was important. Wondering if you guys can help.
Okay.
I was in the woods. It was snowing, and it was nighttime. Cold enough I could see my breath. I could hear the silence of the woods, and my view was only about 10 feet in front of me. And then it faded into the base of the trees in the dark of night. I looked into the trees. I saw 3 pairs of red eyes.
Nope. I'm out.
You're like, give me my snow boots. I'm walking away.
It sounded great at first, but nope, I don't like these red eyes.
There were 3 big black wolves. I was attacked by 2 of them, and I fought for my life and killed them both. But I was hurt pretty bad. When the third one attacked, it was even bigger than the first 2. I got into a pretty violent fight with him, and I won, but I was in worse condition. After he quit moving, I squared up and stared into the dark again, as if I was expecting more wolves or something.
Oh, no.
I don't know if this will help in interpreting the dream, but I live a relatively low-stress life, and I'm a pretty active MMA fighter. Thank you for taking the time to read.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Someone that is so strong and a fighter, but still is struggling against these physical forces outside of the comfortability. Yes. I can't say that word.
Yeah, again? Is it the same? Comfortability. The comfort.
Comfortability. And he...
The comfortness of it all.
It's all very comforting.
Yes. Agreed.
It's all very comforting.
Yep.
I think we should get a tattoo that says it's all very comforting.
Comfort. It's just like comfortability.
We'll both spell it differently.
Yes, because mine would be spelled wrong. It's funny because I know a couple people in my life that have been MMA fighters, and they are the most docile,
they're so
kind,
sweet,
quiet people, and it's just so interesting to me.
Yes,
that they're not like some rage jock, gym head. They're usually the more quiet of the people.
And I knew a wrestler who was also a toy designer, and I'm like, who wrestles?
Santa?
Santa, is that you? But then also makes
what's he
toys.
else gonna do in his off season? Right?
It's like you have to give everyone the benefit of the doubt, no matter what they look like or whatever to you, because you never know.
Never know.
You never know.
Do you have another short and sweet one to wrap up today?
I have a very short and sweet one just for you. Okay. This is Noah from Hartford.
Okay.
This demon lady.
Damn it.
You know how this starts already.
Yeah.
Who was, for some reason, rendered in like PlayStation 1 level graphics.
Pixelated to the bejesus.
Crashed her car into mine repeatedly after I pet her cat. Dude, don't be petting people's cats. I don't know what else to tell Noah. Like, just
don't pet cats without consent.
No cats without
No cat petting without consent. Can get you in trouble.
She was obviously very angry because he did say crashed her car into mine repeatedly. I don't know.
Don't put your cat in public. Like, there's so many questions I have about why she has her cat just out for
in her car.
Bestie, I have a question for you, and that is, have you told someone about the podcast yet? Have you told your best friend? Have you told a complete stranger? Have you told your cruise ship captain to stay away from the shoreline, if you please, sir, and navigate out to the ocean?
If you please.
And while you're directing him and telling him how to do his job, tell him about the podcast. It'll keep him awake. Maybe he fell asleep at the helm, and now he just needs to listen to a podcast and concentrate on driving a cruise ship. Just tell one person, Bestie. That helps us grow. It helps us come back every week to entertain your brains. Okay, Brooke. As I was coming up with this week's topic,
I can't.
Part of me, I had like a worried moment. Like, did I do this topic before? I can't tell if I just really love this subject or I've already done this topic.
Hey,
I don't think I have.
Either way, I'll be interested because you know what?
You probably forgot it anyway.
Maybe they haven't listened to every single episode.
Could be.
So
in my notes, I don't think we have covered it, but maybe it's just been on my list. Okay.
Let's hear it, babe. I'm ready.
Well, you know me, Brooke. I've always been fascinated with the idea of space exploration.
You don't
I've always wanted to go to space camp when I was a kid. Like, so badly. I thought, like, being an astronaut would be, like, the coolest job ever.
It probably is. Except for you have to put yourself through all those G-forces and all those simulations.
Science and math and being really smart. But I do follow, like, there is a NASA channel, and I do watch that. And I do follow NASA on TikTok. I just love it. I don't know. I've always been a fan of space. So let me ask you, Brooke, have you ever wondered what it'd be like to sleep in space?
Of course. Of course. I've always been fascinated with spacecrafts and how they float to eat, to drink, to do other bodily functions. All of that stuff is always kind of fascinating.
Yeah, exactly.
Same for you?
Same. Like, how do you lay down in zero gravity? Like, what are the sleeping quarters like? And then my favorite question, how do you even brush your teeth in space before bed?
I mean, you can just squirt some toothpaste out in front of you, get your toothbrush, and just do one of these things.
And Bestie, she's pretending the toothbrush is in front of her, and she's just moving her head to the left and right. She's letting the toothbrush stay still, and her head's moving. Yeah, it could be.
I'm letting the toothbrush do the work.
So this is something that's not only been on my mind, but also on the minds of budding future astronauts, also known as a kindergarten class, whose YouTube video I recently came across.
A kindergarten class?
That's the cutest. I'm going to put a link in the show notes. It's a bunch of 5-year-olds that write to NASA, and they ask them questions. And these kids have like the same questions I have. Like, how do you brush your teeth in space?
How do you go potty in space?
So these 5-year-olds sent their video questions, and today I'm going to share with you, my class, my besties, what I learned.
This is adorable. Adorable.
Before we get started, there's a fun fact here for you. In 1963, Gordon Cooper piloted the longest and last Mercury spaceflight, the Mercury Atlas 9. While Cooper was up in space, he was on a 34-hour mission, and he became the first American to spend an entire day in space and the first astronaut to sleep in space.
Wow. Okay.
1963.
To sleep. Okay, I got it.
I mean, after a 34-hour mission, you'd think, can I have a little break?
You're like,
please, if you don't mind.
Honk. You're like,
tired.
whether I was supposed to be the first person to sleep in space or not.
They're like,
I'm sleeping.
Gordon, are you awake?
No, I'm sleeping.
I'm tired. Once again, I'm going to share this clip in our show notes, but there's a 5-year-old with a sweet little baby voice asking astronaut Chappell Lindgren about space. And a few of these questions kind of just like caught my attention, and I knew I had my topic for the week.
I love it.
So Chappell Lindgren is a NASA astronaut who in 2016 spent 5 months on the International Space Station as a flight engineer on Expedition 44 and 45. So
That's a long time.
Yeah. Here's the question that he was asked by this cute little 5-year-old voice. And this is verbatim, so if it doesn't make sense, it's written by a 5-year-old.
This is a 5-year-old's question.
Yeah. Okay. How do you know when to sleep because you don't know when it's night or daytime because you're not on Earth?
That is an excellent question, and it's a very smart question from a 5-year-old. Sorry, I'm responding as like my
in your work
teacher
voice.
self. I'm like, thank you so much for asking that question. It's a really great
It is a good
question. It is, though.
It is. And in case you don't know, I'm going to start with this fact. The International Space Station moves in orbit fast, really fast. Brooke, do you want to guess how many miles per hour the orbit of the International Space Station is?
Yeah, I'm going to be way off.
Probably.
20,000 miles per hour.
Not bad.
Really?
17,500 miles per hour. That's pretty good.
Sorry, I got excited.
You get so excited. You get a sticker on your chart today.
Oh, yay. Is it a Doug Ross sticker?
Yeah, it is. I'll make sure you get to pick
is it
whatever one you want.
Scratch and sniff?
Oh, creepy, but I like it. All right. So the International Space Station moves at 17,500 miles per hour in orbit and goes around the Earth every 90 minutes.
Every 90 minutes? That's crazy. I didn't. Okay.
Yeah, 90 minutes. So unlike Earth, where we see a sunrise and one sunset every 24 hours, astronauts on the space station witness 16 sunrises and 16 sunsets a day.
Yikes.
So every 45 minutes, it's either a sunrise or sunset. Sunrise, sunset. Isn't that exhausting?
It's fascinating. It's exhausting. Yes, you're correct.
Can you imagine?
Fascinating.
Yeah, so I had no clue about that. That was so cool. The astronaut Chappell said, it's difficult to get used to. It's almost like perpetual jet lag. Mistakes in space and just in general have a great repercussions, as we all know. So it's very important for everyone to get a good and effective sleep.
Yeah.
So to answer this child's question, he says that the sun in space doesn't dictate time when it's time to wake up and go to bed, because obviously it happens every 45 minutes. clocks are set to Greenwich Mean Time. So astronauts do have a schedule. Greenwich Mean Time, which is a way that all control centers throughout the world know what time is their sleep time and what time is their work time. So for example, if the astronauts get up at 6 a.m. GMT, it is 1 a.m. Central Time.
Okay.
But at least this way, all the space stations in the world know when they're working and when they're sleeping.
Got it. I understand.
So another question that the kids love to ask, and you'll like these ones, is, have you ever seen an alien?
Yes.
Which Lindgren said he hadn't. And then the second question they got a lot was, is there any aliens on the moon? Which he said,
the moon?
I don't think so, but I've never been on the moon. So it's like cute. He's just answering all these.
Weird. Like, why haven't we been back to the moon?
I don't know.
Mindy, we should know these things, but we don't. We just don't. I love these questions.
I know.
They're very smart questions.
Yes. And not only that, but like NASA also has a lot of these Q&A videos on YouTube. Again, I'll post the links of these where not just children, but also adults can ask questions.
Yes.
Because space exploration isn't just a American fascination. It's a global fascination.
Absolutely it is.
I came across another video with a gentleman named Chris Hadfield. Not Haddonfield. Hadfield. He's a Canadian astronaut that was a commander on Expedition 35. So Chris Hadfield had this question come up where he was challenged to show people how he brushed his teeth in space. Oh, more specifically, is it challenging to brush your teeth in space without getting toothpaste up your nose from weightlessness? So he showed exactly how he did it. So if you're wondering,
I am wondering, and I have been curious about how all of this business works without gravity. So yes, I'm interested.
Well, he starts with a standard old toothbrush.
Okay.
Since they don't have running water and there are no sinks, the big question is how do you wet your toothbrush and how do you spit afterwards?
How do you? Oh my!
He takes this water bag. It almost looks like a go-go squeeze. And he squeezes out this little bubble of water, just about the size of, a nickel. And he gets it on his toothbrush. And the water it absorbs into the bristles. So he just kind of lets the water absorb. I'm demonstrating with my hands. I know it's hard for Besties to
I know,
see.
But it's great.
So he gets it on. It's all absorbed into the bristles. And then he sucks the water out and swallows it. So now his toothbrush is wet. Because you can't just let it floating around, right? There's so much you have to think about here. Next,
there is a lot.
The brush is still wet. He uses standard toothpaste. They use like standard old Colgate or Crest or whatever up in space.
Whatever you want.
He puts
Crest whitening.
Yes, he wants bright white teeth in space. He puts his toothpaste on it, and he starts brushing just like we would here on Earth. Just brush. He keeps his mouth closed, but he's just brushing. Next, he's got a mouthful of toothpaste, and guess how he spits it out?
Mindy, I have no idea. Like, I feel like there should be like a plastic bag or some kind of receptacle where you can spit. No.
You just swallow it. He says you just swallow your toothpaste. Yeah.
I'm not a fan, but I'm going with it.
And then, of course, you have to rinse your toothbrush. So again, he adds the water to it, and he sucks out the water from his toothpaste and again swallows it. So no waste. Just swallow it. So if you ever wanted to know, it is safe to swallow, he says. Unlike the condom beer, which is probably not safe to swallow.
Condom beer! I have nothing more to say about this stuff.
Moving on. I'll move on because I have still a lot to get through. Okay. Next, I found an interview with former astronaut Mike Massimino, who was initially asked how it is to sleep in space. And here's his quote. At first, I think it's hard to sleep in space because you're trying to get used to it. But for me, after I got used to it, a couple days in, it's probably the best sleeping I've ever had.
Really? Okay. Now I'm interested in going into space.
Besides having to swallow your toothpaste, you're in.
I can swallow my toothpaste if that's like the worst part of the whole process. But I don't think it is the worst part.
I remember when I was a kid, like my mom used to be like, you can't swallow your toothpaste because it's got glass in it. I think it's what she told me, or my grandma told me. I don't know.
Glass?
I don't think that's not true.
No,
but
Mindy,
I've always been like
true.
horrified. Thanks for confirming. But I mean, even like if you think of toddler toothpaste, I mean that is swallowable. So it must be like a special crust blend.
Yes,
swallowable toothpaste. Okay. This is a cool segment that he did. It's on YouTube, but it's explaining the difference between what's it like on Earth versus what it's like in the space shuttle versus what it's like on the space station. Because even between the space shuttle and the space station, sleeping conditions are very different.
Oh, I would imagine. Yes.
Yeah. So he says on Earth, we sleep in bed with pillows under our head and blankets tucked under our chins. It's cool. It's dark. You probably have a glass of water next to your bed. You have quick bathroom access. But
amen to that, man. Amen to the quick bathroom access.
He does make a joke about getting older and having that be very convenient on Earth.
It is.
But in space, pillows would float away. And if you had water in your glass next to your bed, it would just float in a water orb away from you. So it takes a little longer to get to the restroom on a spaceship.
This is fascinating because you don't realize how challenging the circumstances are if you are in space. Yes. Even just to have a sip of water, because it's like, yes, nope, that water is floating away from you. Like,
it's not that easy.
It's not that easy.
So on a space shuttle, they don't have bedrooms on a space shuttle. It's more that they just sleep on different decks. So if you're in the flight crew, pilots often sleep on the flight deck, and crew often sleep in the middle deck. But they get in their it's like a sleeping bag. They get in their sleeping bags and they tie off to something. So they have straps and hooks, and they pretty much just tie off to something so they stay in their sleeping bag. Yeah. So they don't bonk their heads as they're floating around sleeping. Now, Massimino said that his favorite place to sleep was sleeping upside down on the ceiling, because when else in your life can you get to do that?
I would totally be going with this dude's thinking, I'm like, when am I ever going to be able to do this again? I'm going to sleep like this.
Yeah, like a bat on the ceiling. I love it.
I do love it. I think that's awesome. But yes, you can only do certain things in space.
So on this space shuttle, it's almost like a group camp. You just put your sleeping bag wherever you want, and everyone kind of sleeps in the same space. Mm-hmm. But on the International Space Station, everyone gets their own little bedroom. They're called personal sleep stations.
Oh.
And it's small. It's about the size of a small closet or like a phone booth. And in here, they get to mount their sleeping bags against the wall. They can store their clothing. They can have a computer. They can listen to their music. And it's almost like their own little tiny, telephone booth-sized bedroom.
I love it.
They can have the pictures of their family. It's like their own space, which is nice.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of these sleeping bags, they're not your average sleeping bag, of course. They're more like a camp roll. They're not soft. They're made of canvas, so they're not super comfortable. But the interesting thing, and I didn't even think about this until he explained it, is you'd never actually have blankets on you when you're sleeping in space, because there's no gravity to keep it on.
I was going to say, aren't they just kind of floating?
They float in their sleeping bags, and even though they have a top cover, it doesn't touch them. They're literally floating in their sleeping bag, which I don't think I would like very much, because I love my blankets. I love weighted blankets. You're not getting that in space.
I'm so conflicted right now because, yes, I love a weighted blanket, but at the same time, I also just love the feeling of weightlessness. That's my jam.
I don't know. I don't know if I could ever get fully comfortable without a blanket on me, feeling it touch me.
know.
The other question he answered was, what do you wear to bed? So he says it's up to the astronaut. He said he personally preferred gym shorts, a t-shirt. Sometimes he would wear socks or a wool hat because it does get chilly when you're on the other side of the Earth, away from the sun. But it's cool.
I get it.
He did mention that pillows are Velcroed to sleeping bags. Otherwise, they would float away. And you could also have like a head strap if you want to use it, so you can strap your head to the pillow. It's not like it doesn't do much because it's not like your head needs the support. You know what I mean? It's so interesting.
I know, but I'm fascinated.
He said also in space, when you sleep, your arms naturally raise up because of the weightlessness. So everyone kind of sleeps looking like a zombie. Like and I'm going to post some of these pictures on our blog and in our Facebook group. But like everyone's arms are up, like eyes closed, you look like a zombie. He was asked the question if they have to train to sleep, because, you know, astronauts have to go through rigor mortis, regimented, regulatory,
lots of stuff on their body to make sure they can do
lots of training
to make sure they can make it through space and time.
Yes. So he was asked if they had to train to sleep to be an astronaut. And he says they don't really train you on how to sleep because it's pretty much the same as when you're on Earth, but they do give you tips and tools to help. So for example, he never used earplugs or sleep masks at home, but when he was in space, he would use them both because earplugs help with the constant whir of all the machinery. I was
going to say that's a lot of noise.
Yeah. Like just a drone of noise.
That's a lot of noise.
And then the sleep mask, because especially when they were on the space shuttle, there was the windows. It wasn't an enclosed area. They were in like, you know, the flight deck. So the sun would be the most bright light ever when they were on the sun side of the Earth. That they definitely needed sleep masks to help kind of get their bodies ready for sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a fun fact. Astronauts don't pack their own bags for their flight.
I don't like this part. Tell me more. I'm just gonna go. Tell me more. Tell me.
So they can't. They're not allowed to pack their own bags because they have to keep track of everything that's on the space shuttle, what it is, what's use of. But they can bring stuff from home, like personal affections, like pictures. They can also bring like a teddy bear or a lovey if they want. It's completely allowed.
Lovely.
They just have to check it in with the crew, and they will go ahead and make sure it gets on board. So this astronaut had like a little Snoopy he brought up for sleeping, like a little squishy Snoopy.
I'm in love already. Like,
who would have thought? Like, it's allowed. Like, I love that.
You have to have one lovey. I feel like everyone has to have one lovey.
Or like a sweatshirt from your spouse, or, you know, something that would just be like tactile you could have.
Exactly. Whatever it may be, whether it's a toy from one of your children or a shirt from your partner or what have you. Everybody needs one thing.
Personal. Yeah, sweet. Love it.
At least.
Now, here's a question people asked is, are you allowed to have sleep medication in space?
Oh, yes.
He says, yes, it is allowed. They do have access to mild sleep medications. He said it was especially helpful in the first couple of days in order to get adjusted to sleeping
I was going to say, yes.
Yeah.
Give me some Ambien.
Space Ambien? Give me
some space Ambien.
Oh, I'd have the most restful weightlessness sleep ever on space Ambien.
We'd just be floating.
We should TM that. We should make our own Ambien. I don't think that'll be allowed, but sleepy space pills maybe is not taken.
Sleepy space pills. I like it. I like it.
The next question he answered was, how do you wake up? Do you have an alarm? How do you know when it's time to wake up? Because it's not by the sun, because it's going to happen every 45 minutes.
Right.
Every 90 minutes. So he said it's different. When they were in the space shuttle, ground control would blare wake-up music.
Really?
And they rotated.
Okay.
Oh, it's so interesting. I loved learning this. It rotated music picked out by crew members' family members.
No kidding.
The wife, the children, the family members of each crew member picked out a song for a wake-up day. And
I
then
love
the space station would choose a song. And then the astronauts every day would be like, oh, I think that one's my song. Oh, wait, no, must be my song. Or this might be my, they would have, like, try to guess whose family member chose that morning wake up song.
I love this.
I love it too. So here's some popular ones that were on his flight. He said he was certain that Fly Me to the Moon by Frank Sinatra was his family, but it wasn't. It was the Mission Impossible theme morning that his family chose. And another popular one was Good Day Sunshine.
Good day, sunshine.
But I think that's what a cute personal touch that they got to experience.
I mean, because with music, I don't know if it's our heart chakra or what, but music does affect us.
Brings us back to a place and time and emotion.
It does.
No, he said on the space station, it's not as exciting. It's International Space Station, so they just have an alarm. But on the space shuttle, it was pretty cool.
I agree. Brooke,
do you think astronauts snore in space?
Absolutely, I think they snore.
They do.
Anyone that has a sleep issue snores.
Yeah, so that's true. He wasn't sure because he was a snorer on Earth. He wasn't sure if he would snore. But according to his crew members, they're like, yeah, you snored.
You're like, buddy, let's take it down a few notches. Shh.
So now that we've talked about some of the ways astronauts sleep in space station and on space shuttles, NASA has always been very interested in how sleep affects their crews, of course. Yeah. They prepare for launch schedules because launch schedules are often very early in the morning or late at night. They have to train their bodies like shift work. They almost have to train their bodies when to wake up 2 weeks before their launch date. So if launch dates get scrubbed, they are in a constant state of trying to get their bodies regulated to certain times based on launch times. Last year, crew members aboard the International Space Station conducted a variety of scientific investigations. This included the European Space Agency. What they did is were trying to understand the physiological differences between sleep on Earth. So they monitored their astronauts 2 weeks prior to takeoff, as well as their sleep on the International Space Station. So they would have these dry headbands that they would use to monitor their EEG levels or signals, as well as they would have in-ear one that they created that is, if you think about sleeping with a bunch of electrodes on your head, it's not really restful. You know this from the sleep studies that you did. But they created one that goes just right in their inner ear, like almost like a little headphone that sits in their ear that would monitor their EEG. So all of that to say that they are currently studying sleep in space and trying to understand circadian rhythms, Mindy, with light,
absolutely
stress levels, all of that. And one of the new things that they did add recently due to some of these studies is they added a new circadian light system aboard the IIS, the International Space Station, to help astronauts. The lighting is changing at certain times of the day to maintain acceptable circadian rhythms, to mimic natural daylight and natural night light spectrums.
Fascinating.
Yeah. Just to wrap up, I'm going to read a couple examples of astronauts who share what their dreams were.
Oh my God. Yes, please. Please, please, please.
So one of these astronauts is Helen Sharman. She's a British astronaut who became the first woman British person in space and also the first woman astronaut to visit the International Space Station. She said this about dreaming in space.
Okay, let's hear it.
She said, I don't remember many of my dreams when I was on my mission, but after returning home, I quite often dreamed where I was back in space. And I am floating down one of these long, very long mirror modules. So I would be going past at this really slow rate, very sedate. And there was a window approaching. And as I look out and I see the Earth, I see the blue sea and some gorgeous bright white clouds and the curvature of the Earth. And then floating in the opposite direction, coming at me is astronaut Sergei and my other crewmates who were up there. And they just stay around this window and we look together. We don't see anything in my dream, and we're just there, and I can hear them breathing, and I can feel their warmth, because I know we're quite close to each other. We're all just looking out the window. So even though she doesn't remember any of her dreams on missions, she dreams of being in space again.
I totally understand.
And then to wrap up, back to Mike Massimino, the astronaut earlier, he said he doesn't have nightmares about space, but he dreams about space a lot since being home. And he says it's usually of all the beautiful and unique stuff that he saw. But he does have a recurring dream. Okay. I'm back in space, and I'm going back to fix the telescope one more time. Like, there's one more time to go, and I'm up there fixing it with my crewmates, and we're doing different things up there of what we're trying to fix. So I do dream about going back to space a lot. So just to wrap up, I think it's so interesting that these astronauts, although they don't remember their dreams while they're in space, and I would still like to do some more investigation on this to see if we can get like a literal space dream.
A little bit more of nitty-gritty, like where we kind of poke at it.
I'm going to have to hashtag all the astronauts that have ever astronauted. But I think it's interesting, even when they do come home, that they dream of the sights that they experienced in space. Like seeing the Earth specifically is one I came across a lot, and being on a spacewalk and fixing things and just looking out and seeing the Earth. And I think that's just, it's beautiful, because it's
beautiful and amazing. And
even though we can think about it in our minds of like what it would look like because we've seen pictures, I'm sure it pales in comparison to the actual visions they have in their memory, their core memory.
There's no way we can envision what they have seen. It's just miraculous.
No way to go back and visit that in your sleep. I love it. So, Bestie, let us know what you think of space sleep. Would you be able to do it? You're going to have to like strap your sleeping bag to a wall, swallow your toothpaste. How are you feeling about space sleep after that, Brooke? Would you do it?
We can do it. I don't know about the brushing the teeth part. Like,
Brooke does not want to swallow toothpaste.
I don't want to swallow the toothpaste.
Speaking of time, it's your birthday time. It's our birthday season.
Season.
What'd you do to celebrate? I know it's kind of your birthday celebration weekend. What did you do? Anything fun?
Well, Mindy, I can't quite remember.
Oh no.
Or
that's why you did that Bloody Mary.
Or is it? Oh yeah, like, is it an oh no or an oh yeah? I can't remember. Next weekend, I will be going out with some friends as well. A lot of people go out of town. This is like
Labor Day weekend. Yeah, you always got screwed with that,
last weekend of summer. Yeah. So I get it, but I'm so hungover, Mindy. I don't feel great.
I'm back older. To bed in a second.
I'm older, and I feel worse each year.
But you look beautiful. Hey, a trip around the sun is another year you get to experience this wonderful thing called life. So
thank you.
How can you complain?
Thank you very much.
People say like how, they're like, oh, some people don't like saying their age. And I'm like, I don't care, honestly.
I'm 44.
44, bitches.
Well, I'm actually not.
Okay. I'm actually just a little bit older when we record this today. I am officially like 6 days older than Brooke, or what? Not 8 days.
I will be 44 by the time this episode comes out. Yes.
But every year's a blessing. Every year's life. It's teaching you something. You're learning something. You're experiencing something. So I don't mind getting older.
I have never had a problem with getting older either. Like, it's
no, like, existential, like, 40, you're in the blues, or, you know what I mean? Like, I just don't feel that.
No, I don't. You're right. I don't feel that either. It's like, I feel like almost anything is possible. Mindy, how has your week been? Crazy.
It's crazy. I mean, Kit, the youngest is back to school. The second youngest, their son's back to school. The other 4 of them are in college. So it's been quiet. I mean, I noticed like we're not buying as much groceries, which is kind of nice. I have to like train myself not to buy as many groceries because I'm like, okay, I don't need to like the Sam's Club size of peanut butter anymore. Like,
right,
scale it back. One jar is good.
That's a hard thing to transition into.
Yeah. It's like a reverse learning thing. Yeah. I don't know. It's good though. Life's good. We have a busy wedding season. Sister's wedding's coming up soon.
Very soon. And
Yes.
do you have your dress yet?
The dress came in. It's beautiful. I think it's fitting good. I might just need like the straps taken in a little bit, but nothing I can't do. And length's perfect. I'm ready. I'm so ready to dance and party. Cannot wait for her wedding. Oh, I have to make my speech too. Still gotta work on the speech.
That's a
Next big
biggie,
thing.
Mindy.
Yeah,
That's a biggie.
I know, but I just it's so hard. Like I don't even know how to start. She's my baby sister. I don't know. It'll come to me. I just need to like zen in my bed with some candles and just a glass of wine and just not be distracted and just let my thoughts go. And I think I'll come up.
It'll come naturally, and it's like you said, it's your baby sister. It'll just come naturally to you. It will.
All right, Bestie. I think that wraps up another episode. If you have any tips on speech writing, send them my way. Other than that, we hope you're having a great week. We hope you had fun with us today.
Okay, Bestie. Until next week, be very, very, very careful of your condom beer.
Mm-hmm.
And
sweet dreams, bitches.
I love the condom beer. I couldn't help myself.
It just makes me want to brush my teeth.
I was going to say it makes me want to gargle.
What? Do not swallow it, though.